Of all the quarterbacks playing on Wild Card Weekend, I think Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence has the most to gain this weekend for one reason and one reason only. I think with a playoff win, if the Jaguars beat the Chargers at home Saturday night in Jacksonville, I think Lawrence would save Jacksonville from losing the Jaguars. I don't think I'm overstating it. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when we kind of talk about one game possibly saving an entire franchise from leaving a city. But that's how I think, and that's why I think this game is so important for Jacksonville and so important for the city of Jacksonville itself, because I think the Jaguars are going nowhere if you are able to win this game on Saturday night. And it's not just one playoff game where it's like, oh, if they win, they stay. If they lose, they're going to go, move to London or move somewhere else. But this game is massive because, as we know, the Jaguars are always a team that's been rumored, been speculated to leave Jacksonville. And they play in London once a year for a reason. They're the only team that has a permanent London game each and every year. They don't get the fan turnout that other stadiums do, that most stadiums do. The interest, compared to most other teams, is not really that high for the Jaguars as it is for the Packers and the Cowboys and the Giants and the 49ers. But to be fair to the fans in Jacksonville, they haven't had a lot of reason to buy in. Like, the reason why up to this year, the only time TIAA Bank Stadium where the Jaguars play, the only time it's sold out is when Florida Georgia is there to play their annual game at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. The only reason why that every year is the only game sold out is because the Jaguars have never put a winning product on the field that you can believe in. So why would Jaguar fans show up to a stadium to watch a team they have no faith in? And that's why this game is so important for the city of Jacksonville. And that's why, for me, Trevor Lawrence has the most to gain this weekend. Because if you win this game, think about what winning this game will do for Trevor Lawrence and do for the city of Jacksonville. It will leave zero doubt that he is the guy for this team going forward and the guy that is quickly elevating the ranks of young quarterbacks that are up and coming, that can be and are on track to be one of the best in all the league. I think he would, especially with the opponent they're playing in the Chargers, it's kind of like a duel of who will kind of be that third or I should say fourth young up-and-coming quarterback, right? If you have Patrick Mahomes, I'm still include him in the young quarterback rankings. You have Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. Those are the three that separate themselves from everyone else. Right now, that fourth spot is open. Lamar Jackson and his injury issues have been a problem of late. And now when you look at, Justin Herbert finally making the playoffs this year for the first time in his 3-year career. Now Trevor Lawrence in year 2. But if you really want to call it, I consider year 1, when you just erase everything that Urban Meyer did last season. Trevor Lawrence in really what is his first true year in the NFL. Getting the Jaguars to win the division, turning it around. I think he would elevate himself if he beats Justin Herbert and the Chargers on Saturday night. He would elevate himself above Justin Herbert and be that firmly fourth in that young QB power rankings, if you will, behind Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes. And I think when you have that young quarterback you can believe in, it galvanizes an entire city. I mean, look, the Trevor Lawrence impact is already being seen right now in Jacksonville, even in the last few weeks. Right now, this playoff game is set to kick off in Jacksonville later on Saturday night. It's set to be the third straight sellout. Think about that. Third straight home game that's a sellout for the Jaguars. And you go back to last week, playoff game against the Titans, where you win the division, you lose, you go home, and you don't go to the playoffs. In that Saturday night, basically playoff game, if you will, for the division, they attracted 70,000 fans. Their capacity is 67,900 and change. So they basically attracted 2,000 more fans, for standing room only, and oversold the stadium. The Jaguars oversold their stadium last week, and is expected to be another big-time sellout later on Saturday night. The fans in Jacksonville are there. There are fans, and there are a lot of diehard fans in Jacksonville. The thing for them is they've never had a reason to believe. They've never had a reason to go to the stadium. They've never had a quarterback they can actually truly believe in. I don't care what you say about Blake Bortles in 2017. Clearly that was an anomaly. I think Jaguar fans knew it as well. But you've never had this young quarterback you can latch onto the way the Bills have been able to with Josh Allen, or the way the Chiefs fans have with Patrick Mahomes. And now you are seeing that. Now you have that opportunity to latch on for the first time. And again, now that Jaguars fans are believing, they are coming out in droves. Look at these secondary market prices for tickets for Jaguars Chargers. It ain't $30. You can't walk in there for free like you could sometimes even earlier this season with how bad the Jaguars started off the year. The belief is in Jacksonville, and people are attracted to winners. It's natural. Right? You see it in kind of any city with any sport. Once you have a team that's going on a postseason run, even if you're not a big fan of that team or big fan of that sport, you get drawn in. It's captivating to root for a winner, and that's what the Jaguars are right now. And again, I think it's what you're seeing in Jacksonville, all this big turnout the last few weeks. They care, and they care because Trevor Lawrence is putting them in a position to where now the Jaguars are going to be a problem each and every year in the AFC. This is not a one-year wonder, by the way. They are here to stay. And so that's why, for me, you win this game, I think it puts to bed now any sort of talk, any sort of thought of moving the Jaguars to London, to another city in England, or somewhere else, wherever you want to put them. Man, the Jaguars have always kind of been that team now that's talked about relocation. In a large part because of the fan base and the lack of interest. The fans are there. It's just they haven't had a reason to cheer. And now I think you win this game on Saturday, watch out. The bandwagon is filling up, and it's filling up quick. And I don't think you can, if you're the NFL, you can move a team with a transcendent young quarterback like Trevor Lawrence is. Well, you look at the last three teams that have relocated. Right, you have the Chargers obviously moving, you have the Rams moving, and you have the Raiders moving. All three moved because of the same reason. Stadium issues. Right, the Rams were not the Rams we know today when they moved from St. Louis to LA. The Chargers, yes, they had Phillip Rivers at the time, towards the end of his career. And again, that was kind of, the bud was off the rose at that point with Phillip Rivers going from San Diego to LA a few years ago. And the Raiders, yeah, they had Derek Carr when they moved to Vegas, but again, nothing special. You have Trevor Lawrence rising rapidly, and I think will reach soon, next year or two, kind of the heights that right now Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen have reached. You're not moving that team. Like, it's fair to say, you are never moving the Buffalo Bills out of Buffalo. Even with how small that exact market is, the Bills are permanently in Buffalo. You are never moving the Bengals out of Cincinnati or the Chiefs out of Kansas City. I think we will be saying the same thing about the Jaguars here soon, is you're not going to be moving them out of Jacksonville. So that's why, for me, there's so much to gain here for Trevor Lawrence, because if you win this game, I think that the hype train is off the tracks. Jacksonville is going to go it's going to be a bonanza and go bananas. And there's going to be legitimate buy-in in the Jaguars and in Trevor Lawrence going forward, where, again, I think we can stop the relocation talk and put any of those questions, any of those thoughts to bed. So you look around the rest of the NFL in terms of quarterbacks that have a lot to gain. Sure, you go look at Kirk Cousins. There's a lot of criticism on him and how he plays in a big-time game. Playoff game against the Giants. Everyone's going to be watching that one. He has a chance to kind of get the monkey off his back with a good performance. Dak, there's been a lot of doubts around him. You can kind of quell those doubts if you out-duel Tom Brady on the game. Literally, everyone will be watching on Monday night. Justin Herbert on the other side of this matchup, he's been rocketing up, right, in terms of quarterback rankings the first 3 years. You get a playoff one under your belt. You just continue to have that meteoric rise. Geno Smith is going for a big payday. He's going to be a free agent after the season. You win a playoff game, you help your market big time. Same thing with Daniel Jones. He'll also be a free agent. You beat Kirk Cousins. You take the Giants, and there was not a lot was expected of them in the beginning of the year, and you help get them to the playoffs. You're helping yourself out big time as well. So a lot of those quarterbacks have something to gain. I think the quarterback, though, with the most to gain is Trevor Lawrence, because not only where he would be in terms of ranking of young quarterbacks, I think firmly putting himself in that fourth spot behind Mahomes, Burrow, and Allen, but also I think he would save the city of Jacksonville from losing the Jaguars. And no other quarterback can say that an entire literal city is riding on their shoulders this week. That's why, for me, Trevor Lawrence, most of the gain, wild card weekend.